how do you handle the situation where the tenant wants to bring in their own appliances? Janine had a question about appliances. The tenant is scheduled to move in 2 weeks, and they have their own refrigerator and stove that they would like to use. This happens quite a bit to us, actually. So how do you handle the situation where the tenant wants to bring in their own appliances? We will try to accommodate that if it's something that our property owner is okay with. Something that should be discussed before the lease is signed, though. So hopefully you're able to address this matter beforehand, because you would have potentially some tenants that try to get out of the lease if they're not able to bring their appliances with them, even though this lease should specifically state that those appliances that exist that are already in the house should stay in the house. Number one thing that I usually suggest to everybody is look at your lease agreement. Make sure you're protected against the tenant just being able to move in their appliances. You want to have your lease agreement say that your appliances that are already in place need to stay in the property. And then if you're going to change anything about that, you would need an addendum to your lease to say, yes, I'm going to let this tenant move in their refrigerator and stove. The thing to think about that is what happens at the end of the tenancy and where the stove and refrigerator are going to go that you're moving out that the property owner owns. Number one, you can look for storage facilities on site. So maybe it's a larger house and they can be moved into a closet or a basement. That's probably not likely, but perhaps the property owner of that rental property already has some other need for it too. I know we have a lot of clients that are expanding their portfolios and purchasing new rental properties all the time. So they may say, yeah, I'll take that. I can put it in my next rental property. So the storage of that, the old appliances and the movement of those old appliances really needs to be paid for by that tenant that is requesting to use their old appliances. So they should pay for that extra cost right when they move in, when the appliances are initially moved. But then you should also be discussing on that lease addendum what's going to happen at the end of the lease. So are the tenants expecting to take their appliances with them? And in most situations, they probably would. So you would want to have it already clarified that they're going to pay for the cost to have the original appliances or even just different appliances moved back onto the property, because they are the party that is responsible for the whole issue of needing to move the appliances around in the first place.